Thanks for joining us. I'm Virginiane in Whitehorse. Our top story tonight, the new number 26 of the Toronto Maple Leafs, Yukon sensation Gavin McKenna. Just a few minutes ago, the 18-year-old made NHL hockey history. The Trondheim citizen from the Yukon was selected as a first-round draft pick by the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Mr. McKenna, we would like to draft you to the Toronto Maple Leafs.
The NHL draft is one of the biggest stages for young talent, and McKenna's success has sparked a lot of excitement for Yukoners. There's definitely a lot of celebrations happening tonight in the territory, and one of them is at the Takini Arena in Whitehorse, where supporters gather together for a watch party. And that's where we find our reporter, TJ Deer, who's been there for the last hour to witness the big moment, and he joins us live. TJ, it happened a few moments ago. What was the atmosphere like when McKenna was taken?
Yeah, it was really, really loud here, obviously being the first overall pick in this year's NHL entry draft. And this is the highest a Yukon born and raised player has gone in the NHL draft. And there was a lot of loud cheering here, and it was almost sort of expected that he would go to the Leafs because there were a lot of people here with Leafs jerseys here, just Leafs jerseys in general. There was one gentleman who actually taped over his existing Leaf jersey. I think he had a Williams Nylander jersey on, and he taped over it and wrote the word McKenna on the back of it. And there's somebody else who actually got a custom McKenna jersey with the number 72 on the back. So it was, everyone here was expecting that he would go to the Toronto Maple Leafs first overall. And of course, that's exactly what happened. And shortly after he was picked by the Leafs, he spoke with, he had this to say when just after he got picked.
Special moment for sure. Yeah, this is a dream come true to hug my family and walk up on the stage, see Justin Bieber. This isn't what I imagined when I was a young kid, so it's so much better, and the fact that it's here, it's been special. So,
Gavin, what's it like feeling the love from Leafs Nation very early in your career?
Yeah, it feels good. I love those fans already, and it's one of the most passionate fan bases out there. So I'm looking forward to getting started, and I can't wait to see what the future holds.
There was a lot of hype surrounding McKenna before tonight. TJ, tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I mean, he was, one of the highest rated prospects he's been one of the highest rated prospects for years now. And, it was almost predetermined for years that he would be picked first overall. And, there was so much success he achieved in junior hockey when he was playing with the Medicine Hat Tigers in the Western Hockey League. And he made the decision to, push himself and challenge himself. So he was one of the first athletes to make that transition from junior hockey to playing college hockey in the U.S. And, it started off a bit difficult for him, obviously, but then things got better as the season went on. So, obviously, he did so well that, it justified him being first overall. Not just in the junior draft when he was picked first overall, but first overall in the NHL as it was today. So, there's a lot of expectation on him because of that early success. But folks here at Takini Arena in Whitehorse, this is one moment that they're going to remember for a long, long time, Virginia.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you very much, TJ. So that's the CBC TJ Deer here in Whitehorse. Well, the Nunavut government is denying allegations of negligence over the death of a child under the care of a group home. It's facing a lawsuit by the parents of Kennedy Angelique. The 12-year-old spent most of her life at the Naya Isabel group home in Chesterfield Inlet before she died. Samuel Watt reports.
Kennedy Angelique's parents alleged negligence by the Nunavut government and Pamuk Corporation, which operated the Naya Isabel group home. In a statement of defence, the Nunavut government argues there isn't factual proof to show how it's liable. It also argues the Health and Family Services ministers hold policy decision immunity. Andrew Morrison, the lawyer representing Kennedy's parents, believes the government still has a duty of care to those accessing its services.
I maintain belief in my client, and there's some very, very serious harm done.
The Nunavut government statement of defence argues any damages would be a result of Kennedy's pre-existing conditions, or it would fall on the Pamukkaleq Corporation, a separate entity.
If I send someone out to do a task for me, I'm responsible for how they perform it.
Anne Crawford, a civil court lawyer not involved in the case, says the Nunavut government isn't off the hook because it contracted out the girls' care.
They don't have to actually have the child in their physical care, but they have to have them in a place where there are regular inspections, there's adequate funding, there's appropriate record keeping, there are regular interventions.
Kennedy's parents argued they weren't involved early on in decisions about further treatment when her condition deteriorated in the month leading up to her death. The Nunavut government statement of defence says Kennedy's parents signed voluntary services agreements which provide consent for any necessary medical treatment. Morrison doesn't believe that agreement is sufficient, especially when dealing with vulnerable people.
It requires a much higher level of consent, of information being provided to the patients, certain considerations for whether the patients are English first language or English second language.
The Nunavut government and its lawyer declined to comment. None of the allegations have been proven in court. Kennedy's parents also filed a notice of default against the Pamukkaleq Corporation for failing to respond to the allegations. If approved, the organisation would lose the right to defend itself in court. It has not responded to numerous requests for comment. Samuel Watt, CBC News, Yellowknife.
The man behind a deadly shooting rampage in Faro, Yukon, has died in custody. Nearly 2 years ago, Raf Bernard Shaw pleaded guilty to killing 2 people in the community in 2021. One of the victims, Shaw's estranged wife. A judge sentenced Shaw to life in prison in 2024. The circumstances surrounding his death at a prison in Abbotsford, BC are unclear. The Correctional Service of Canada is reviewing them. While the NWT's Deputy Premier says energy remains the single biggest challenge to the territory's growth. The Federal Minister of Energy announced today 5 new projects at the 2026 Energy and Mines Ministers Conference in Yellowknife. The projects will connect the energy grids of several provinces and territories, but not the NWT. Carol Wozniak says the NWT needs to solve its own energy problems before it can take part in similar projects.
We have isolated systems scattered across the territory, 40% of Canada's landmass, and we're all redundantly built burning diesel. We must solve energy in the north, but we also need to figure out our own localized grids ourselves.
Wozniak says other infrastructure and mining announcements from this week will help the NWT reach its energy goals, and those include Ottawa's proposal to fast-track the Mackenzie Valley Highway. The federal government is committing up to $50 million to connect the Fortune Minerals Nico mine to the territorial highway system. They made the announcement this morning in Yellowknife. The 51-kilometer road will connect the mine to the highway system near Wati. Fortune Minerals isn't in production yet, but it is looking to supply both Canada and its allies, including the United States. In fact, it wants to supply bismuth for U.S. weapons systems. This at a time when Canada says it's in the midst of a trade war with the U.S. But some in the federal government see this as a chance for the country to stand its ground and have some control when it's deciding who gets what.
The way we make sure that doesn't happen is we develop our own critical minerals and we control our own critical minerals. We're happy to work with other sources of capital, but we will develop our critical minerals and we will decide where they go. And they will go to our allies, including the United States, and that will put cards in our hands.
Hudson says that in today's world, Canada needs the best hand it can have, and the best cards are critical minerals. And on the heels of a dying mining sector in the Northwest Territories, the project's president says Fortune Minerals fills a void. He added the company could also provide other resources like cobalt for electric vehicle batteries.
Are there military applications? Yes, there are. Are they volumetrically important compared to the others? No. But the supply chains are really important because you want to have that material coming from a country that's a reliable source of supply and is friendly.
Gode also says Canada's Defense Department has not approached Fortune Minerals the same way the US has, but he's open to supplying them too. So earlier this week, the Yukon government announced it hired a new consulting engineer firm to take over work on the Nitsulin Bay Bridge in Teslin. But that announcement left some unanswered questions. 4 years after construction began, there's still no timeline on when the new bridge will be ready. And that's because the project hit a massive setback last summer. The government says the new firm is going back to the drawing board to develop a remediation plan to address soil instability found at both bridge abutments. So that's the structure built at both ends to support the bridge and hold back the surrounding soil. I sat down with the Minister of Highways and Public Works yesterday to get more answers. The government just announced a new engineering firm, Cowie North America Limited. What can you tell us about this new contract?
Thanks. So the Nitsulin Bay Bridge is an important project to us. I'm committed to seeing the bridge project through to completion. I've committed publicly to providing updates whenever we have an update, so that's what has spurred the announcement this past week. We have awarded the new engineer of record contract to Cowie, as you mentioned. They've been contracted to pick up the remediation design, which will allow us to work toward tendering the remaining construction on the bridge project.
Mm-hmm. Before we get to the remediation part, I think one of the main questions that people are asking is how much is it going to cost now with this new contract?
So we don't have an update on total costs yet. That information will come out, as the project gets closer to completion and when it is completed. The contract that was awarded to Cowie is for just under $5 million, and the construction contracts to date on the bridge are about $181 million. So they are the engineer. They will come up with the remediation design along with department officials and other technical folks, and then we will tender the remainder of the construction.
I mean, we are talking about a modern-day construction with a modern-day design. How do we explain that we are still here finding some soil instability that is forcing basically the construction to go back to the table to do a new design?
I can't speak to the technical details of how we got there. I can just say that as soon as our officials realized that there was issues with the soil and the bridge abutments, that's when the construction was stopped last year. So the path forward here now is that soil remediation and geotechnical work, and then a little more design to get us to tendering the construction.
What are those issues exactly?
I'm not the technical expert on that by any stretch, so I just know that there are issues with the abutments of the bridge moving due to the soil conditions.
How did we get there? Is it a human fault? Was it the design that was at fault?
That's not my job here. My job here is to get the bridge finished. There's likely many factors that led to the construction stopping. So we've had to take action in order to move the project forward and get the bridge finished.
You're saying that it's not your job. However, can we expect, Yukoners, can they expect to see the government take any legal action, any investigation, any audit into what happened exactly?
So as far as legal goes, that assessment will be done here in the future. And certainly we've internally looked at processes and what has happened to get us here and have improved processes and contract oversight and that kind of thing.
There's no timeline yet. Going back to creating a design for remediation work, how long can we expect that to take?
So the idea is to have the remediation design finished by this fall, and then to tender over the winter and spring so that when construction season starts next year, we're ready to hit the ground running.
Is the longer that it takes, is that adding to the bill?
It isn't adding to the bill necessarily now. That is why we negotiated out of the remainder of the contract with Graham Infrastructure previously, as their contract was signed and it was going to lead to delay claims and the contractor sitting. So we mutually negotiated out of that contract to stop some of those extra costs. Most of the initial construction took place under different government, under different staff at the department level, under different officials. So we're just committed to moving forward and seeing this important project finished.
The three territorial premiers recommitted to working together on issues of shared interest. They signed yesterday a renewed 5-year Northern Cooperation Accord that was signed in Hay River NWT. Yukon Premier Curry Dixon, NWT Premier R.J. Simpson, and Nunavut Premier John Main were there this week attending the Northern Premiers Forum. One of the shared priorities outlined in the accord is Arctic sovereignty and making sure federal investments benefit Northerners.
In terms of major projects, there's going to be a lot of construction work in the coming years, so we want to ensure that we are working in conjunction with the federal government, with Indigenous governments and communities to ensure that anyone who needs training, anyone who wants training, is going to have those opportunities, and that any contracts, again, use Northern contractors, use Northern labor. So this is something that's occupying a lot of our time, and we're going to ensure that we'll do our best to ensure that every dollar that can stay in the territory does stay in the territory.
During the forum, premiers also discussed the offshore moratorium on oil and gas licensing, strengthening territorial workforces, and changes the Inuit Child First Initiative and Jordan Principle.
Looking for stories about Indigenous peoples from across the country?
We know where you can find them.
Dinez Hotier, my name is Edzi Ulevrin, and I'm Tahltan Nation and Takarura Tlingit First Nation.
CBC Indigenous.
My name is Brett Forster, and I'm from the Chippewas of Kettle and Stony Point First Nation.
Creative.
Engaging.
Informative.
Grounded in First Nation.
Métis.
And Inuit communities.
You're back.
I'm back. Anything else going on?
Mom? Nope. Where have you been for the past 15 years?
On the run.
You are done with all the crime, right?
Oh, yeah.
You were going to steal us a diamond. Are you going to be able to keep it together on this one?
I am nothing if not profesh. Don't make me use this. Hi.
This is Jessica.
Nice to meet you.
Jessica, she seems great.
We should all go out sometime.
I would love that.
Wild Cards on CBC Gem.
More public housing is coming to Nunavut. Iqaluit City Council approved a major project Tuesday that will bring over 100 new housing units to the capital. The project includes 2 5-story buildings with 58 units each. They will be built at the base of Hospital Hill. Iqaluit's deputy mayor is also calling for a nearby playground. She says the development will bring dozens of families and children to the neighborhood. Council has also approved a zoning bylaw amendment to allow the higher density development.
I think the area really makes sense. It's close enough to the downtown core that it can support development of that size. So any public housing for me is very, very welcome in our city.
Council also awarded a contract to Tom Fitzgerald Construction this week for the Tundra Ridge subdivision expansion. So that project is expected to create about 40 new residential lots for future single-family homes and duplexes. Gastroenteritis is on the rise in Nunavut, often called stomach flu. It involves an inflammation of the intestines, typically caused by viruses or bacteria. Nunavut's chief public health officer is advising residents to be cautious. She says the stomach flu is very preventable by washing hands and handling food properly.
Now that the weather is changing, we should try not to leave food out. We put it in the fridge as soon as you are done with leftovers, so that bacteria does not grow in the food. And then if you are going to be eating food, again, it's important that you heat it and you eat it warm, because then it will kill bacteria in it.
Ajimang recommends medical attention if symptoms progress without improvement after 3 to 5 days. Well, a new study shows wait times in emergency rooms across Canada have been getting even longer. And for patients who need to be admitted, those delays can stretch for days. Jennifer Lagrassa shows us the latest data and what's behind that backlog.
Days after undergoing surgery for cancer last year, Amy Fitzgerald's 75-year-old father, Reginald, landed in a St. John's ER with complications. What unfolded next was a nearly 14-hour wait for him to get admitted.
After that experience, I would be scared, to death to have to go to an ER with someone who was that sick.
According to a new report, that's all too common across the country.
The length of time they're spending in the emergency department has increased.
Of 14.8 million ER visits in Canada between 2024 and 2025, 50% saw patients spend 4 hours or less waiting. 40% went 5 to 14 hours, and 10% involved wait times of more than 14 hours.
Across the board, though, all hospital emergency departments are facing these sorts of pressures.
When it comes to hospital admissions, 10% involved an ER wait time of 48 hours or more before an inpatient bed was available. That's 12 hours longer than 2018-2019.
There are more sick patients coming to the emergency department who are more complex.
Experts blame a long list of factors for these delays, like more older patients with a range of chronic conditions and broader system-wide issues, like a shortage of family doctors and long-term care beds, as well as long waits for tests and scans. This emergency room doctor worries about his patients.
This is not just an inconvenience. This is really a matter of life and death.
That fear, he says, is backed up by research showing patients who wait in the ER for care face a greater risk of dying.
Where we are right now is not the natural order of things.
Doctors say things can improve, but that starts with more resources and more healthcare workers. Jennifer Lagrassa, CBC News, Windsor, Ontario.
Many grade 12 students graduating this week are coming home with high marks, but some experts say it has less to do with academic excellence than with what's being called grade inflation. Diana Sumanak-Johnson now with how that became a trend and why it might hurt more than help young adults.
University of Waterloo.
Perfect.
And then they wrote me a little letter.
Her grades were good enough to get her into her program of choice, but Mabel Winter worries that she benefited from grade inflation.
In my favorite class, actually, I finished with a 96, and I'm kind of like, well, did I actually deserve that? Because everybody else in the class also has a similar grade.
The practice of awarding students 90% plus marks in the final year of high school really sped up during the pandemic, experts say, when school boards decided to mark more leniently or omit exams, all in an attempt to compensate for the overall disruptions to student learning.
Some programs in universities now have as many as 30, 40, even 50% of students of their incoming class has a 95% average or higher.
But that short-term morale boost is having long-term consequences.
Then they're in university first year and they're taking perhaps very difficult courses, and they go from a 95% to a 60% or even lower than that. So it's a psychological shock.
But grade inflation can also happen in university. Harvard faculty recently noted that in some classes, 60% of students were getting A's. So they adopted a policy that only 20% of students in any class can get that top mark.
As grades have gotten higher and higher, people have come to the feeling that high grades are something that has been earned.
Grade inflation differs from high school to high school, so some Canadian universities even use a formula to work that out, meaning that a 95% average at one school could be seen as no better than an 80% average at another. Deanna Sumanek-Johnson, CBC News, Toronto.
From laptops to gaming consoles, electronics are suddenly getting a whole lot more expensive. The CBC's Ruxar Ali on a possible culprit behind the surge in prices.
The price of memory chips has skyrocketed over recent months. So if you're in the market for new tech, get ready for some sticker shock. Apple just hiked prices on iPads and computers. The iMac alone up $400. Apple blames the rapid expansion of AI data centers, and experts are taking notice.
This is very, very unusual. I haven't seen anything quite like this.
The companies that make memory chips have prioritized producing them for data centers, creating a shortage for consumer electronics.
They're going after the most valuable parts of the market.
London Drugs, which sells high-end electronics, says it first noticed issues back in January with thumb drives and memory cards.
We knew at that point in time it was going to start to trickle down.
Gaming systems are getting more expensive too. Microsoft just announced Xbox console prices are going up by at least $100 US worldwide. In April, Sony raised PS5 prices by at least $140 Canadian. And come this fall, a Nintendo Switch 2 will cost an extra $50. At this gaming shop in Calgary, owner Jordan Legault is hearing about it.
A lot of customers are surprised when they come in to find out that, hey, I want to buy a new PS5, but now it's more expensive than what it was like 6 years ago.
Do you know when this came out?
And the high price tags aren't going anywhere. Micron, one of the big three chip makers, expects this shortage to last at least through 2027. As prices keep going up for newer products, Legault suggests leaning into nostalgia.
The retro market is huge. It's we're growing. Most people don't want to spend $875 to $1,100 on a new PS5. They might come get a used PS4, which is like $120, right?
While used might work for some, if you really need something new, whether computer or console, you might need to upgrade your budget. Ruxar Ali, CBC News, Calgary.
And that is Northbeat for tonight. Remember to head to cbc.ca/north for news anytime. I'm Virginie Anne here in Whitehorse. Thank you for watching. And we leave you tonight with some video of the Cameron River in the Northwest Territories. Have a good weekend and be safe out there.